Peace, and welcome back to another episode of Monday Musings with me, your girl Nicole, Sister Midwife, where I share what's on my mind about finding joy, building my Black business, and raising my free Black girl in this crazy-ass world. So as you can see, I am not in my normal video spot. That is because I am in Cuba, Alabama, visiting one of my elders, Mama Yawah Awolowo, on her farm, Mahala Farms. And this is going to be a great conversation because not only is she a farmer, she's a vegan chef, she is a mother to many, a grandmother, a great-grandmother. She is also a midwife and an elder home birthing person. She has birthed her own babies, free birth at home back in the 70s and the 80s, she'll say, before y'all was even thinking about it. She was a vegan before vegan was even a term. She got all kind of juicy information and knowledge. So we're going to have a good time talking with Mama Yawah. So here we go. All right, y'all. So as I told you, we're going to be talking today to Mama Yawah Awolowo. This is Mama Yawah. How you doing, Mama Yawah?
I'm doing well, my sister. How you doing today?
Hey, you know I'm doing good.
I'm honored.
Yes.
Yes.
This is really exciting. You know, the Monday Musings have really just been me talking to the camera. So this is exciting too. My first actual on-camera interview, talking to you.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So
well,
this is part of me finding joy. I'm going to start off with the joy piece. I live in New Orleans. Where I am right now is about a 3-hour drive away. I was super exhausted. The first quarter, I know it ended March 31st, y'all, but it was still getting me. And I needed a break. And one thing I know for sure, when we take this 3-hour drive and we come to Mahala Farms where there is no internet, where there is birds flying around, clear blue skies, sunshine, breeze blowing, it's going to feel good and it's going to fill my heart with joy. My daughter could run up the road with no issues, play in the clay, in this red Alabama clay, breathe the fresh air. We eat good food when we come here, we hang out with Mama Yawah. So this is what's bringing me joy right now. Mama Yawah, what's bringing you joy right now?
well, I'm telling you that I'm breathing and living, like you said, seeing the beautiful blue sky. And I'm so honored that you all decided to come and see me today. It's a pleasure, always a pleasure to see your beautiful face and my granddaughter, KB.
Yes. Yep. So y'all can see, I brought Mama Yawah her sweatshirt, Birth is the Revolution. When she first met me and she learned that was the mantra that we spouted, she was like, wait a minute, birth is the revolution, which y'all know about birthing, right? So she found out that I was a midwife, that I was a doula trainer, and we started talking about doulas. And recently I had a conversation with an organization they're going to be sponsoring some different events, and they were asking me my opinion about doulas and how doulas are showing up in the world. And of course, we talked about the historical significance of doulas. And I like to always say, if you all have heard me talk before, your doula is your mama, sister, auntie, cousin.
Yes.
It's the sister in the street. It's somebody. Yes, there's trainings now, and yes, those trainings are valuable, but this has always been rooted as a part of who we were as people. And so, Mama Yawah, whenever you tell your birth stories, first, before we even get into the doula part, the elders that I want you to share with my audience, I want you to first tell one of your birth stories. How I know you tell them where you birthed, the house that you lived in, the whole, set it up for them. Let them hear it and speak up loudly. Make sure the microphone could get your whole story.
Well, my birthing stories are very beautiful in my lifetime. That's how I feel about it. I have no qualms about anything. Each one was very different. Like my son Shabaka, I'm gonna use him as an example. Shabaka, when he was born, we knew a midwife, an elder midwife that had been around us, Miss Cannon. She had did it for 50 years up in New York City or whatever. And I said, I found out, I said, Miss Cannon, will you come? And she's like, well, they done made it against the law now, blah, blah, blah. And so I said, okay. So I told my husband, you're going to have to do it, right? He said, what?
Now, what year was this?
81.
1981. So she told her husband, the midwife not going to come. You're going to have to do it, husband. And he was like, what? Okay, Yawah.
Yes. And one of the things, he always wanted to be an obstetrician and gynecologist. So I told him then he could certify himself right now with his own children, coming out well and being well, And so he said, okay. And so we talked to the midwife, and she told him to get 2 white shoestrings, brand new, boil them in water, and let them, sit in the water before time, and then get a brand new pair of scissors.
Okay.
And so, same thing, you sterilize the scissors.
Boiling in the water.
Yes, yes. And so he was like, okay. So he followed instructions as to what to do with the 2 white shoestrings and what to do with the scissors, where to cut and when to cut and how long to wait before you cut and all those things. She told him that. So it happened. So my son, Obafemi Oran Shabaka,
Ashe.
may his soul rest in peace. He was our first one that we did at home in 1981. And so it was a success, and of course he was really happy. So he got me together. He was getting me together. He laid the baby on the pillow. And of course this is Shabaka. Shabaka rolled off the pillow, bloom, on the floor, and he looked up at his daddy like, so you gonna just leave me laying here? Because his daddy was in shock that I said, Obafemi, the baby done rolled off.
This is a brand new baby, just come out the womb, okay? Rolling off the bed, y'all.
He rolled off the pillow in the little, thank God it wasn't a high bed, it was a little twin bed, And he was looking at his dad like, so you gonna get me or what?
You gonna leave me here?
Yeah, so his daddy was kind of in shock. He wasn't crying or anything. He was just looking at him. So we got him up, and I said, let me hold him while you do what you're doing, going through the process of getting the afterbirth out and everything. So
I love that. And so then after Shabaka, how many babies did you birth at home?
It was like...
I know, you got to add them up.
Yeah, it was like 8 more.
Yeah, birth at home. Like and then you started helping some of the other sisters in the community.
Yes. It was a sister living down here at the time. It was 3 of us that were vegan in this area, and everybody had their family. So this sister, she married her husband, who was an ex-military person. And so I helped her bring forth her 2 sons.
Yes.
And they are 40-something now.
Yes.
And then another sister. Then it just, I was like, okay. Yeah, one sister I met this old vegetarian in Atlanta. I'm sitting there eating my food, and this sister walked up to me and said, well, Ja told me to tell you, you need to help me with my birth. And I'm like, oh,
I don't know you. What?
So my daughters, I didn't say anything. My daughter was looking at me like, okay, Mama.
You gonna help her?
And I was like, well, sister, we'll talk in a minute. Let me finish my lunch. So my children was looking at me like, Mama, you can't refuse that. That was an order. Because this woman had never seen me before in my life. And how would she know to come to me for help in her pregnancy? That was, to me, my most divine revelation of honoring who I was, because even to this day, I'm like, how did she know I could help her?
Yes.
So she brought forth a beautiful baby daughter.
Yes.
So I spent about a month or so with her before the baby come, so I can get the vibration of the house. And she had 2 other children, too, so I could get that vibration of the house, get the vibration of her, and just had her.
So you went to her house and stayed with her for a month?
I stayed with her for
the whole month before she gave birth. And then after she gave birth, how long did you stay?
I stayed another maybe 2 weeks or 3.
2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
In the postpartum
after that,
period.
and then she had a friend to come from Philly.
Wow. So it sounds like she then continued to have support in home for another month or so. Yeah. So now we have people being trained to be what we call postpartum doulas, birth doulas. With Sister Midwife Productions, we train that there is no separation that is from preconception through the postpartum, and that when you train, that you are training to support the family throughout that whole time, right? Not just one or the other. But that's beautiful that you just instinctively knew, and just you were a mother. This is how you grew up, right?
Yes.
You grew up in the 50s, the 40s and 50s, the 50s and 60s. The 50s and 60s. Okay, she grew up in the 50s and 60s.
I'll take that too.
So I'm not that old. love it. I love it. I love it. So one of the things that you told me about, and I'm gonna wait until this wind passes because the wind is probably catching more sound than anything. Maybe it won't. We'll see how the editing goes. It feels good though.
Yes, it does.
I like it. It's so beautiful out here. Okay, good. We don't want all that wind in the background. So one of the things that, so you know I train doulas. And I remember when we first met, you like, what's a doula? And so I explained it to you like, oh, that's like the ladies who used to come check on me while I was pregnant. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about those women from your community who saw you as a young woman pregnant with a family and was like, wait a minute, she's pregnant. We need to step in. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, they used to come over and just check on me every once in a while. It was 3 ladies in particular, my step-grandmother. And I don't remember all their names.
No worries.
They was there. I can see their beautiful faces. And it felt so good to me that they knew that I had given birth. And they was coming to give whatever assistance that they could give to me because they know that's how the house was. So they brought food because they knew we didn't eat no meat, but they brought greens and peas and some rice. Brought the children a little something, a little piece of peppermint candy or two to make them happy because they know they didn't eat a lot of candy. And it made me smile really, really big. And so the birthing process had been long enough that I could come outside and we put some chairs outside and I sat in the swing and 2 of them sat on the swing with me and we talked because we had a swing up under that big pecan tree up there at that time. The yard was clear. And so we had a swing that, the one that 3 or 4 people could sit in. So they spoke with me, asked me how I was feeling, and they brought me, the main thing they wanted to make sure I had was plenty of okra. Even though I had that before the birthing, because, okra, if you eat okra during the time you're giving your birth out, it makes your birthing so much easier. And so it also helped heal the uterus afterwards. Because if anything up in there by eating the okra, it's going to come out, through that orifice.
Yes, so they brought you okra, they brought you food. Yeah. Now, this is a trick question, but not a trick question. Did you invite them over?
No. It was a...
They just came to check on you?
Yes.
Imagine that. Imagine that.
Yes.
Wow.
They knew that I had a baby because in the neighborhood, the word done got around that the baby is born.
Yes.
And so when I was a child, that's what would happen when somebody give a baby. You didn't have to be invited over. You took over things.
You did not have to be invited over. You went in uninvited but welcomed.
Yes.
You went with food, take care of the other children, bringing love and assistance, teaching. This your first baby. You don't know how to breastfeed. I'm helping you with breastfeeding.
All those things.
And so now today, we call that a doula.
Ah, okay.
So once upon a time, it was just a normal part of the community.
Yes,
and now we have a profession of it, which is great. I have trained over 700 doulas. I think you know all of that. But it's an interesting thing. Right now, we are in a very important place in the doula work where people are on this fence around wanting to request reimbursement and funds from the government or wanting the traditions to stay traditional. I believe that that's a difficult, precarious place to be in because if you're asking people for their money, they're going to ask you for different requirements.
Yes.
And what can we say about that? What I think is beautiful and what we have to do is tap back into the tradition and remember that this was a thing. And I love how you said it was 3 of them. Did they ever come alone?
No.
Always together.
It always was
together because we have to build and so if you are a doula out there right now in the world, I want you to hear these little simple nuggets. They did not go alone. They all got together. Well, she had the baby. You want to go check on her? You want to go check on her? I don't want to go check on her. Let's us collectively as the community mothers go and check on her. So sometimes we feel like we have to hold all of the burdens and do all the work. It don't have to be all on you. Call your other doula sisters. Call her sister. Call her auntie. Call her mama. Who else needs to come over and be a part of this conversation in the postpartum period? They brought food. They brought a little snack for your babies. They brought smiling faces, conversation.
Yeah, stuff to make you laugh.
Make you laugh.
I'm telling you, some of the things they said that they've been through, and doing marriage and stuff. We had a good women conversation,
I love
from
that.
the elders to the young, and laugh about different birthing situations, because the community had a midwife, but they had passed that law. If she wasn't licensed by the state, they was against the law if she helped somebody. Now y'all know that ain't right.
Not right. We know it's not right.
Yeah, because they didn't want us in the hospital in the first place.
Didn't want us in the hospital in the first place, but then try to make us come to the hospital by taking away the midwives.
Yeah.
I mean, the most
like,
backwards.
It's like, hold on. So many of them having babies without us. No, we don't need
There's money to be made. Let us change things up. And I'm telling y'all, this is the way that the doulas are going if y'all not careful. I know I speak about this almost in every video. Every time I go live, I keep bringing it up because I'm watching it happen. Y'all got to get careful. And now everybody's up in arms. Oh, no, we don't want to have a national certifying board. Leave it all alone. You can't be in a gray area on this thing. Leave it all alone.
Just do what you do.
And just do what we do. I think that would be, get the information, get connected, but understand the unintentional consequences of some of the things that are gonna pop up the more that we move towards insurance and reimbursement. Currently, we do not need, nor do we have, nor does anybody want a national certification board or body around doulas. But if we keep going down that path of wanting reimbursement and wanting money back from private and public insurance, those things will come to pass. Just saying it like that. All right, let's get back to Mahala Farms, okay?
All right.
So one of the things, so me and Mama Yawah met. I had not had my daughter yet. I was thinking about wanting to be pregnant, and we had a conversation, and I asked, I said, you know any of the midwives over in Alabama? And she said, I'm a midwife. And I was like, oh, and that's how we ended up having a conversation and becoming friends. I came out to visit the farm, and I learned how to operate a tiller. I learned how to plant stuff, but never as good as Mama Yawah. I like to say,
seeds is the most wonderful thing.
for 5 minutes. My daughter can do a lot more because I just get overwhelmed. Like, it's too much. I can't understand stuff, but Kaylele is gonna know how to farm. Y'all see when the apocalypse come, don't come by us because we gonna be good. Kaylele got it. I shouldn't even tell y'all where we were. But that said, let me think, where do I want to go with this? So we would come out and just learn about gardening, learn about really good vegan eating. I'm talking food that, as they say, make you want to slap your mama. And the trip part of me, the most trip part to me about Mama Yawah, and I would say that this is going to apply to anybody who really has a calling on them or a gift on them. Mama Yawah could eat an apple and spit the seeds out of her mouth to the ground, and in 5 years, she going to have apples sprouting off a tree. Mark my word, I swear to God. I'd be like, how did you, just throw it out there to grow something. That doesn't happen at my house.
I got 3 peach trees over there.
Got 3 peach trees over there. She probably spit the pit right out her mouth. She don't prep nothing. That don't mean she doesn't ever do those things because she is a certified organic farmer and has worked with Tuskegee Institution and the University of Alabama and all these places and done lectures and stuff all around organic farming, all of the things. So she does that too. But around her house, she'll just throw a seed out and it will grow.
Yep, I don't have that particular paper, but I am well knowledge in organic.
Yes, she is well knowledged in organic farming and all of the things.
And all of the things that they're teaching, I've had it in practice for many years.
For many years, for decades even.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
So we are in partnership to create an experience, to create an opportunity for others to come and rest and experience the beautiful nature of this space. We are not quite ready to invite you out, but if you really want to come out to the farm, shoot me a DM.
Yeah.
Shoot me a DM. We can make an arrangement for you. We can make an arrangement for it. But definitely by 2026, we will be hosting space on this land here. It is so beautiful. You could see all of the land. gonna have a couple of houses out here.
There's
Gonna have
50-something acres on this
gardens,
side.
and this is just the kind of like the little living area.
Yeah.
There's also actual farm space where we have a couple of hoop houses, a couple of acres growing food. There's a
On the
bamboo
flower
house,
field.
a bamboo forest.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
show y'all all that in a little background footage later. But that's all I got for today. Mama Yawah, anything you want to leave the people with?
Yeah, much love. And love yourself, respect yourself, and put your seed in the flower pot. See what happens.
Wow. Yes, put your seed in the flower pot and see what happens. At my house, nothing ever happens, but that don't mean that it can't happen for you. That's all I got. If something that we said today resonated with you, please be sure to share it with one of your friends. Hit the like, subscribe button, leave a comment, and keep filling up your cup. Don't forget to tell the world that birth is
And you did
the
grow some
revolution.
beautiful peppers, Miss Lady.
I did. I grew some beautiful peppers.
Yes, she did.
Okay. Peace.